Welcome to Local SEO in 10. This is your go-to podcast for answers about how you can grow your local business online easily and quickly. Brought to you by local SEO experts Magnified Media in Walnut Creek, California. In each 10-minute episode, our digital marketing expert Adam Duran answers your questions on how you can get more leads for your business fast. Remember, if you're not taking care of this part of your business right now, you can bet your competitors are. And now, here's our host with the questions, Jamie Duran, and our expert with the answers, Adam Duran.
Hello, Adam.
Hey, Jamie.
All right. How's your week going?
Going good. I'm getting over the flu-rona.
Flu-rona?
Yes.
COVID cold?
I don't know what it is, but we don't have a test, so, maybe.
Just quarantine anyway for, next 60 days or so. You'll be fine.
I already, 60. That's a chump change.
Easy.
That's easy. No,
right.
I'm doing good. So I'm back in action. So let's go.
All right. Ready
to rock.
What do you want to talk about today?
All right. So title of this episode is What Happens If You Do Your Business Site Through Wix. Wix is a web builder that a lot of small businesses are attracted to because it's pretty easy to create a website using Wix.
Good. Well, there's tons of them, but why Wix?
Wix is a kind of what you see is what you get kind of website builder. So it is super simple to build a site, and they have a bunch of great templates that you can, change and add stuff to. So the learning curve is very low as opposed to other platforms where, if you're not a web designer or, you're not really into the whole computer thing, that Wix makes things really accessible. And it is super powerful too. So it's got some great tools that come along with that Wix subscription. Wix is an all-in-one platform, so it can be really enticing. And really cool thing about Wix is they're a publicly traded company, so they are always trying to get better. There's not a lot of, this is out of date kind of stuff that happens with WordPress or other, WordPress is pretty much the biggest competitor. So WordPress has its downsides too. But today I just wanted to go through some limitations that Wix has that you should be aware of before using it. So that way, kind of your eyes are open when you walk into this relationship.
Okay.
All right. If you aren't familiar with Wix, it is an all-in-one platform, like I said. Now, all of the web pages, all of that web content that you create now and forever will be on Wix. That's one thing you should know. That, your site starts off with whatever, 5, 10, 20 pages. And if you're doing good SEO, you're within a year or so, you're going to have 100 plus pages of content. And so if you are not comfortable with that fact that, okay, this is my platform, or, someday you want to move over to a WordPress site that does WooCommerce, like e-commerce, stuff like that.
Woo.
Yeah. That platform is much more robust and much more geared towards e-commerce. Wix does have an e-commerce site. It's pretty good. Point being is, if you're worried, that you're going to be making or wanting to make a change in a year or 2 or 5, then understand that it's not a one-click process to move all of that content. It is a page-by-page, copy and paste, page-by-page process. Okay?
Yeah, sounds good.
And vice versa, right? So if you're on WordPress, it's going to be the same thing. The cool thing about WordPress, there's all these themes that you can get and change those, and it'll change the way your site looks. It's a little easier within that WordPress platform. But moving from WordPress to Wix and back again, or I guess not such an easy process. So just understand that. Okay?
Understood.
Thank you. Next one. Wix has a blog feature. Okay, so that blog feature is probably where you're going to think about creating content for your website. Understand, though, that the blog is probably the weakest part of the Wix platform, unfortunately. It's cumbersome, it's slow, not really great for SEO. All of those things make it kind of tough. So the workaround that a lot of people do that I've seen is they'll just create pages, pages of, an article as a page instead of as a blog in the blog interface of Wix. When you do that, it's totally fine to do that, but just understand Wix limits you to 100 pages total.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. So that sucks, right? So you have a limit of 100 pages, and say you're a law firm or some kind of medical clinic, and you're doing content creation as part of your SEO strategy, which you should be doing. You're going to hit that 100-page limit pretty gosh darn fast. And then, so that's unfortunate. Now, Wix's answer to that is something called dynamic pages.
Okay. And I imagine those dynamic means they change.
Yes.
Or rotate.
Well, basically how their dynamic page system works is you create a generic layout for every page within that collection of dynamic pages. So if you're creating 10 articles around a certain keyword, that would be your collection. So you can basically, how that dynamic page works is you create a layout with different cells of information, and the cells can be any kind of information, videos, photos, text, links, all that stuff. Anyway, you create a layout, and then you input the data for each page into that layout, and then Wix creates them dynamically as they're needed.
Okay.
So it is a little cumbersome. Make sure that when you go start using the Wix platform, you do your pages of your site, but then go through the tutorials for making those dynamic pages, because it is a whole, you go to Wix for that low learning curve. Dynamic kind of turns that up a notch. So you have to go through all the tutorials for it, because it can get kind of frustrating because it's not as straightforward as it should be, unfortunately.
Well, then would you recommend using an outside blogging service or app essentially to work with Wix?
No, there's no such thing.
What?
It's an all-in-one platform. Their blogging app is okay. It's always getting some kind of improvement to it. Basically, what the blog is, it's another dynamic kind of page that Wix is creating on the fly. So it's just a different interface for this. With WordPress, we don't have these limitations, and that's why it's weird when we go to Wix and we see the 100-page limitation, and then the dynamic pages are, like I said, learning curve wise. You got to go through some tutorials to master them, and the blogging platform is not my favorite.
Okay,
unfortunately.
Well, sounds like somebody could make $1 zillion business by making a blogging app that works with Wix.
Yeah, they wouldn't allow it. So that's the other thing. All right, so now understand that with an all-in-one platform, you don't have a ton of developers. And when I say ton, I mean like thousands upon thousands upon thousands of developers trying to improve the platform all the time. You have the Wix core, that business, that company. And then you do have some other smaller companies that build widgets for Wix that charge, subscription fees and stuff like that. One of those is my least favorite, and that's the accordion. An accordion is a kind of a drop down menu it's a little plus sign. You hit that plus sign, and then a drop down follows that, where you can put information and kind of in the SEO world, we love those accordions because we can kind of hide content from the person, the human, but not from Google. And so it's nice, but unfortunately, Wix, that's probably my one bugaboo that's really bad is that their accordion, it's a widget that slows down the page. And so it massively. And it's very frustrating because, in WordPress, it is a click of the button, boop, boop, like that. There's no wait. In Wix, it's slow.
How does Wix then perform in SEO, I guess, compared to a WordPress, when it sounds like WordPress is way more SEO friendly?
Actually, it's not. It used to be that Wix was not SEO friendly. They would rename your you couldn't name your pages, for example. But Wix partnered with Google, and when they partner with Google, maybe some money is exchanging hands. I don't know. But point being is now SEO for beginners on the Wix platform is really, really easy. They have an SEO wizard that will go through step by step and force you to improve the SEO on your website. And I love that. That tool is great. In WordPress, you're just on your own. So if you don't know what you're doing, then WordPress is not there's nothing in WordPress that's gonna tell you what to do. With Wix, there is. And so the SEO and like I said, Wix is a publicly traded company. They're always trying to improve their product. So yeah, SEO for Wix is great. And those dynamic pages, they rank. The blog pages, they rank too. It's just the interfaces for them could be better.
Okay.
Frankly. Yeah. So if you're considering Wix for your business, just understand about that page limitation. Understand that there's some widgets that they're not gonna work sometimes the way you want them to. But all in all, amazing platform. 100%. Okay. Yeah. So that's all I got to say about Wix, Jamie.
All right. Well, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there who use Wix, and plenty of people have tons of questions for you about Wix. Like, number one, what is their phone number? Anyway.
Chat.
Yep. They got, sorry. Anyway, that's Wix, not my favorite, but I'm glad it's working for lots of other people. There you go.
Yes.
All right. So if you know somebody who has a website and they are considering maybe upgrading, changing it out, moving to Wix, moving away from Wix, going to WordPress or whatever, definitely direct them to the Local SEO podcast. Make sure to go to magnifiedmedia.net, click on the podcast selection, and then search Wix or search WordPress. And the chances are there's at least 3 or 4 podcasts about Wix and SEO and WordPress and SEO and lots of different
kinds of SEO.
All kinds of, well, SEO is probably the worst thing to search for in there. But if you look for website, and you'll find tons of almost every episode talking about websites. So, but yeah, share this podcast around because it's certainly very relevant, because if you're building a website, you want people to be able to find it and not be buried. So it's a perfect time. Also, if you do enjoy this podcast, please be sure to give it 5 stars wherever you're listening to it, or a thumbs up on it. It really helps our ranking as well. And I think that's about it. Anything else, Adam?
Nope, that's it. Have a great week, everybody.
All right, we'll talk to you next week.
That's all for now. Thanks for listening to this episode of Local SEO in 10 with Google local marketing expert Adam Duran. Join us each week for answers to your questions on how to best harness the power of the internet to grow your business. Speaking of questions, got some? Message us through our Facebook page, Local SEO in 10, and we'll be sure to give you your answer on an upcoming episode. This episode of Local SEO in 10 is brought to you by Magnified Media, the leading online marketing agency in Northern California, who invite you to grow your business by magnifying your online visibility and credibility. Visit them on the web at www.magnifiedmedia.com. Magnify your business, magnify your profits.